What's up, guys, and welcome to this week's Let's Talk. It's been a while since we had one of these, and a lot has gone on since then. They've been Latin American nationals and North American nationals as well, which is going to be the main focus of today, and also some announcements to do with Europe as well. We will do another one next week on the new theme booster releases. So we know that the blue ones have been released and spoiled so far, and we should get some more then. So we'll look through all of that next time. But this time I think we will be looking at nationals because I think that's sort of more useful right now for you guys, and just good to work things through in chronological order. So I've got Anthony with me and Nathan as well. So Nathan, of course, always comments what about Europe on the Bandai posts, and he had a response. So we will be looking at that later. But firstly, let's jump into the North American Nationals results. What do you guys think overall about the results? So Storm taking, was it 1, 2, and 3?
One, two, and four.
4.
It might be three or four, but there was definitely a Shenron. And
Yeah, there was a definitely Shenron top 4. Um,
but Storm was always gonna win it, right?
yeah, I mean, it. Yes, maybe. I mean, around the community groups and everything, Shenron was getting all the attention. Everyone thought Shenron was going to do
Yeah,
amazing. I think maybe people just wanted Shenron to do well.
yeah.
I
I
feel
think
like
Shenron got kind of the community vote, didn't it? Where people were like, "Oh, we're sick of Storm." I saw a lot of people kind of joking, saying, "Shall we all have a gentleman's agreement not to play Storm? Is that cool?" And I guess a lot of people didn't take notice of that.
Yeah.
Well,
So yeah. Yeah. Storm, of course, still very strong, and yeah. Well, let's take a look at the decks. So we'll start off with there are 5 on DBS decks right now. So let's bring those up. The first one is Androids by George. This was George Machado's deck, and I mean we thought Anti and we thought Androids were going to be good when the stuff was announced, and it's all right. He played Super 17 actually, and so I've got the
no, George Machado. He's androids.
he played droids actually. Why does it say Super 17 here? He played actual droids.
Yeah,
This is on DBS decks, so don't blame me if this is wrong. Uh, but yeah, this is what we have on DBS decks. I will double check this list, and I will amend this in the comments if it is incorrect. So yeah, so I mean, he's got the Deadly Defenders in there, Infernal Emperor Frieza, Defense Stance Piccolo, pretty standard. Other than that, the 17s he's just got 1 6 drop and 3 of the 3 drop, 2 of the 4 drop as well. Anthony, what do you think? You are sort of the resident droids player.
I think it was a pretty solid build. I'm not quite sure why he played the Frieza over Gohan. Like
Okay.
his explanation was a little loose on like didn't really explain the point, but I think I don't think it was a good pick for nationals, definitely, because Storm was definitely the best deck to bring, and droids don't particularly do well against Storm.
hmm
But yeah,
I mean, to me, it seemed like a lot of the players just wanted to play with the new stuff rather than go full on competitive, even though it was Nats. So, yeah. Nathan, any comments?
just kind of on the overall, um, the standings at the end of it, I feel like there was a distinct lack of play recognizable players. Um, I think
Yeah.
out of the top 32, I only recognized maybe like two or three names.
Oh, okay.
Um,
I mean,
so I don't know.
I thought there were quite a few. I mean, I saw this comment on the community group, but
Hmm.
I mean, I recognise quite a few of the names. I mean, maybe it's because I was doing these tournament
The
reports
deck
before.
profiles.
Yeah.
Yeah. But kind of like just Peter Katani and like the PPG team in general, they didn't seem to do very well. Did they get like 2 or 3 players in the top? And
They
they
had
turned up.
quite a few actually. So George Machado got there. Christian Eriksen, Erik Christensen uh, got. Imagine if Christian Eriksen played. He got top 32. There was another guy who played Hirudegarn, and we'll look
Yeah,
at that
like
deck
I said, I think
later.
they got 2 or 3, and then when you look at kind of like their version of the regionals, they
Yeah,
were taking something crazy like 5 out of 8 spots.
yeah.
Um,
So
and they had a big enough of a turnout to be able to do that, like percentage wise.
yeah, that is true.
Um,
Do you know what Peter Katani played? I'm not sure what he played actually.
no idea.
No. So I mean, Marcel Russell missed his flight, so
Yeah.
that's
Eddie
why
Eddie St. Hilaire, he kind of dropped off though, didn't he, after set
he's not
3?
PPG anymore.
Oh, is he not? Okay.
No.
Um,
He's left.
I don't really follow the teams. It's but they're supposed to be a professional team, or so they claim to be. So I'd expect them to do better than the non-professionals, but the non-professionals seem to do quite well, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, you do have a lot of other teams as well. You got Shenron's there, KTM. They're sort of the big ones. There are a few other ones kicking about with quite successful players as well.
Mm.
So, but yeah, I take your point. But I mean that sort of went into my thinking of that people wanted to play the new set stuff and not necessarily just go in with Storm.
Yeah, I feel the reason I was saying it is that I feel like they might have overthought the meta, where they thought everybody would be playing the set 5 stuff, so they had to play the set 5 stuff. But when it came down to it, Storm was still the best deck, but it didn't really play any of the new stuff. So I feel like maybe the pro teams kind of got too much testing done, maybe overthought it too much, and that's why they ended up playing stuff like droids and Janemba Mill and
Yeah,
stuff like that.
possibly. But I mean, droids did well. So
Yeah.
I think this was
They're
the
always going to
highest
do well.
placing droids.
Yes, it was.
Yep. So that is droids. Let's look at the other ones. We've got quite a few decks to go through. This is a top 16. Oh, this was also droids. This was super. This was the Super 17. This was the Super 17. So we with the Gyros, you got defensive stance Vegeta. Yeah, you've got the Cell chain here and the Super 17 chain as well. This guy mained the Kamis, made 2 Kamis and 2 Crisis Crusher. So yeah, I think the build Anthony and I were looking at had both in it as well. Although looking at the Latin America decks, which we're not going to go through today, most of them just played Cell Chain, and they didn't play the Super 17.
Yeah. Well, they didn't get enough testing, and to be honest, I think the Super 17 chain is a little anyway.
I mean, it's it's not as powerful.
You could be shoving too much in. Sorry, I feel like they might be trying to shove too much in one deck, where they've got the Cell chain and they've got the Super 17 chain. I think they need to decide on one of them, and the Cell chain's better.
Yep. So I mean, in this particular deck here, he is running the full Cell chain, so 4 of everything. We saw some people playing just 3 of Perfect Force, and he's got 2 Super 17s. He also has the Super 17 promo as well, which we like but in a different deck. And so this is the Super 17 list. Not much else to add to this one. He is siding in blue, so I guess he kind of prepared
Yeah.
for Storm.
I feel like the side deck's a bit weird. Does he have enough blue sources with the 4 bean and then just 4 of the blues?
Yeah, it's just 4 beans. Yeah, so it's just 8 blues, which presumably they would all come in against Storm.
Yeah. To me, that's not enough because he
No.
doesn't want to charge the beans, so
No.
he's stuck with charging either the pan or Luis's coercion.
Well, the pan would be for his awakening. Coercion, yeah, I guess. It is strange, yeah, it's strange.
Mm.
That's all I can say.
I wouldn't do it personally.
No, me neither. But hey, you know, he got top 16. So
Yeah.
there you go.
Better than us.
Yeah, well, if we got invites, no.
Yeah, let's go down that line of thought, shall we? If we got invites, where would we finish?
So this is one of the decks that Auntie and I quite liked when we were looking through this. This is the Shenron hand control. So basically, your players you're revolving around was it Shenron, the Majesty Shenron, and then you've got the Promo Super 17, so you always have loads of cards in your hand. You drop 2 from your opponent, and then that attack can't be negated as well. So if you give that crit and triple attack, then that was the main finisher. There were other stuff as well, like Beerus, the Gogeta. I'm just gonna scroll down a bit because there are quite a few different cards in this deck.
To be honest, I think his deck was a little busy and
it was a bit. There are quite a few one-offs like the 5-drop Shenron, the
well, the 5-drop Shenron you play as a one-off anyway, but like things like and Demigra again that you'd play as a one-off. It's an ultimate.
Yeah,
can't play any others. But like things like he played 1 at all costs, 1 of the Gogeta, 1 of the Beerus.
Yep. I think the Beerus could have been decided. He had an explanation for it, and I think deciding it is fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, just on the Dragon Balls, he played 4 regular Dragon Balls and 3 1-stars just to go into more of that hand control aspect.
I thought that was a really good idea, to be fair. I think that's probably one of the only reasons you'd play anything other than the 0-cost Dragon Balls at the moment, because I really don't like the others that have been printed at the moment. I don't know how you guys feel about them.
Yeah, no, I mean, I don't particularly like the 1-star Dragon Balls in anything that isn't this hand control deck, basically.
Yeah.
Well, from testing Shenron, I found that so this only applies what I'm saying here to the actual Shenron leader. I think all the other leaders should always play the 0 Dragon Balls because they're weird. But with the Shenron leader, being able to search 2 Dragon Balls and then play it on turn 1 and just get a card into your discard pile so you can use Child's Wish turn 2, it's actually really solid.
Yeah, okay.
It's good. Now, the 2-star Dragon Ball is terrible, and no one should ever.
But we still want it because it's pretty.
Oh, yeah.
It's very pretty.
7 of them in a binder.
But yeah, this is an interesting deck. I think the player who played this acknowledged that the build was a bit loose, and it does need to be optimized. So, I think there'll be more work done on this. I like the concept of the deck.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess if you guys want to try this out, then take this list and tweak it, because it's definitely not optimal at the moment. But saying that, it still did well, so he must have been a good player, I guess. And next up, this is Erik Christensen's deck, top 32, with Shenron Boo. So yeah, standard Boo chain he's got here. And then he's got the yellow splash in as well. So he's got 2 Bardocks, 2 Gohans, 3 Goten in there. Apart from that, yeah, I was a little puzzled by that. But I guess, it worked for him. Erik Christensen seems to play something slightly off meta most of the time. And he does well with it. But so I mean, this is the first that we're seeing with some of the yellow desire cards. So personal ambition is in here, which I really like personal ambition, but it I don't know. I think it reads better than it plays.
I think it's a good card.
I mean, yeah, it is a good card, but I just feel like it doesn't perform as well as it should.
I think personal ambition, how you should play it is pretty much as extra yellow in your deck that happens to be a desire card.
Yeah. Because from testing, I found quite often sometimes I get all 7 Dragon Balls into my grave before I've got a desire card in there, and I'm in a situation where I'm not getting the full effect from my leader to be able to flip and add a desire card. So even if you're just adding back a personal ambition, it's better than not doing it, because then you're getting the full effect of your leader when you get the desire.
Yep, sure. Yeah, no, as I say, it's a good card.
It's not amazing, but it's good and it's playable. And as Anthony said, it's a good yellow source.
Yeah, especially because Bad Ring is, I think, is really important.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
And Nimbus. Yeah, I agree.
I mean, Nimbus has been sided here. Does he have any? Yeah, he's got 2 negates in the 2 power bursts. So it's, I mean, you know what you want to do with Boo. You want to get out your 7-drop. You want to triple attack it, and yeah.
This deck's also a turn 3/4 kill deck, so the negate shouldn't.
Yeah. What was that? You've kind of cut off.
Me?
Yeah.
No, I was just gonna say, it's kind of a turn 3/4 kill deck.
Yeah.
So you don't really need the main loads of negates.
Yeah, no, fair enough.
Yeah, it does look really fun to play, and it's something where I'm probably gonna try it out one day. Because I always like Boo. I was planning on playing the red-blue version of it as well with the Shenron leader for a bit of fun.
Yeah, I mean, Boo is just generally just a nice engine to splash in, and usually in fun decks, but you can do well. You can do well with Boo, definitely.
Yeah, I mean, I that was my go-to fun deck for a while, red-blue with SS3. They always did quite well.
Good old SS3 fun decks, yeah.
Well, Shenron's the new SS3, where if you've got a fun deck and it's got a leader, always going to be a better leader to use than its normal leader.
Yeah, I guess so. Next up, we're going to look at this Yamcha deck. So
this is spicy.
Yes, this was the only Yamcha to top. So he has, there's so much here. Actually, there's so much sort of battle card, not battle card destruction, but you're attacking the battle cards a lot, especially with your Vegeta. You've got the Yamcha 100%, and you've got the MCU Gohans as well. So quite a lot of win cons. M2 and Frost. A lot of spice in here. Nathan, you seem quite excited about this. Do you want to...
Yeah, I really love this deck. I actually watched a YouTube video of him explaining all his card trees as well. I don't know if you've seen it. You should probably link to it if you can.
I will try and link to as many videos as possible in this. Because most of the decks that aren't on DBS decks, which we go through, have videos. So I'll stick those in description.
What I can remember, it was a really long video. It was almost half an hour. And he went into so much depth, and he must have tested this deck so much, and it was really good to see how much time and effort is put into it. But it just looks so fun, and yeah, I love any deck where if you can just abuse Fearless Pan, it's always a good thing to do.
Yes, Fearless Pan is very scary when it gets dropped, and the amount of times when, like, playing against Pan, you know, they've got their toppos, their double shots, the Fearless Pan comes
Yeah,
out, or playing against Veggies, and then just randomly you think, yeah, I'll be fine, and they drop the Fearless Pan.
yeah.
It's like,
Is
oh,
Yamchas as well when they get double strike and plus 5k,
yeah,
they're big, they're huge. And
yeah.
then just having the Frost as well. The Frost is so good against the meta at the moment.
Mhm.
Because there was a lot of Janemba mill. So that was good.
Yep.
Good shout against the Ultimate Box Vegetos. Is it Vegeto?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Vegeta, all inspiring.
yeah, that's the one.
Also, you know, Frost just kills Hercule.
Yeah, yeah.
Swing, take a
I
life.
like. Yeah. Um, what there's an interesting ruling on it where if they decide to use a blocker as well, it kills both the battle card and the blocker.
Yeah, so the auto activates on the card that it declared attack against.
Yeah, and then when
So
the battle
if you run
damage is
over
done,
the blocker, then both will go. Yeah,
yeah, and
but
that's
obviously, you
strong.
know, if they block and they combo out, then the blocker stays.
Yeah, the reason I said that, I think he said that happened to him where somebody kept doing that against him in a match, and he kept killing the blockers and the cards.
Oh, okay. That's I guess they had nothing else to stop it. Just couldn't Mafuba
No,
or anything.
no, another combo as well. Does his leader give a battle card the ability to attack active cards? Is
Yeah.
that what it does?
Yeah.
Yeah. He said that his favorite combo was to keep doing that on his topo, so it just kept restanding and he cleared the entire board.
Yeah, very, very strong. I think Topo is one of those cards where even if you're staring down the board, the fact that you can just clear everything,
Yeah,
it's always been really good.
it's gone
Like
under the radar
if
for a little while.
yeah, I mean it was only really played in Pan, and
Hmm.
it was what played in Marseille before.
Yeah,
But that's it really. I think it's just because it's a 2 cost negate, so
yeah,
only certain decks can play it.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I'll link that to the video in the description, and yeah, so that is all the decks that are on DBS decks. I made this Yamcha deck again, so we've just been through that. So the next one that I found was this U7 Frieza deck. I mean it's pretty standard U7. There's not too. Is there? Are there any? There are no set 5 cards in here. There's Burst Energy, Super Saiyan Bardock. So that
Crisis
came in.
Crusher,
Sorry.
Crisis Crusher as well. I suppose technically set 5, isn't it?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Crisis Crusher. Yeah,
I remember I watched his interview actually. He said that was a really strong card for him all day.
yeah,
What,
Because it just
Crisis
meant
Crush?
that yeah, yeah. He said that Storm was struggling against him, and it helps him keep high life early on, where people are using like the Gohans and the Trunks, and the Cabbers, trying to get him
Yeah.
down low. That stops him.
yeah, and yeah. So the Bardocks were in there to just clear out the barrier blockers that people
Yeah.
would play against him. So you had a second one in the sideboard as well. Other than that,
Hmm.
pretty standard U7 Frieza. he mained the Focus Mind because he thought there might be mirror match, but there don't think there was for him. He said, and the sideboard has Broly in it. That's because it was his favorite card, and every list he writes, there's Broly in it. I think I must have done a profiled one of his decks in the previous tournament video, because there was a guy who had a random Broly in his regional topping deck. It must have been him.
To be fair,
This is
he used to do that.
Yeah, they did with the Ginyu Force.
Yeah.
But that was before side decks were actually useful. Now there's enough cards to actually be useful. Why would you waste a spot?
Yeah, I mean, he had explanations for every single card in his side, and specific scenarios as well. Just apart from
except the Broly.
Except the Broly, he just had to be there. Yeah, and so he's got the Cold-Hearted Freezers and the Emperor of Universe 7 Freezer in the side as well. So that just comes in for various different matchups. But you can't just rely on Victory Strike, even though Victory Strike is very, very scary. So moving on, we have a Hirudegarn Aggro. And Anthony, do you want to go through this one? Because you don't think this is a deck, this format.
So Hirudegarn Aggro is like, okay, so when we say Hirudegarn Aggro, for anyone who isn't paying attention to the screen, we're not talking Storm here.
It's the red blue.
Yeah. I don't understand why anyone would play it. Like, I just feel like you just play Storm, right? As much as it's a strong deck, I just feel like there's too much yellow running around for the deck to be good. Too many flying Nimbuses, too much Storm. I don't know. Like, it could still be a solid deck. I think it needs more testing.
I think that the deck itself is still solid. It's just it's, I guess, is it too fair? Can we say that? I mean, it's strange to say, to say a deck it's not good enough because it's too fair. Even though it still has Chain Attack Zeno, which personally I think is inherently unfair.
Is Chain Attack Zeno even that good anymore?
But I was quite surprised.
Flute. He's not playing Flute.
There was
He's maining a Pilaf. He's maining a Pilaf, but not a Flute.
Yeah, honestly though, what are you gonna flute?
The free hands.
That's the only thing, right? Maybe a Trunks.
They're blockers. Your opponent's blockers.
Possibly, but I mean there aren't that many blockers out there at the moment, are there?
Your opponent's good cards that you then want to play Foreseeing Hit and then get them out the hand for.
You could, yeah. I mean, I guess he's also playing the M2 as well, but I understand not playing Flute because a lot of the time I find myself siding out the Flute that I mained anyway. Because one, it's just obviously it's still a good card, but I don't feel like it's necessary in every single deck.
Yeah, I get that.
Okay.
I mean, the Pilaf he put in there, it was for Storm, and also the random, I don't know, I guess you can use it against Shenron when they wish.
It also draws you cards which can be bad against Janemba.
Okay, sure.
Look, every little helps, man. Like, one extra card.
I mean, he's playing Unbreakables and Scientist Food, so...
Yeah, but you don't want to play anything. Yeah, I guess.
Although those Marseilles came in for the Foos, I think, when he played against Janemba. Just so you get a one cost double striker, without drawing.
Without the draw.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so this deck is still pretty solid. Of course we still don't have Dabura here because we don't have a World Martial Arts tournament. So
it's just a cheap Foreseeing Hit.
It is, but you know he's playing 3 Dabura and 4th Seeing Hit, so both good. Yeah. Having that and Chain Zeno is very strong, I think. And if you play this correctly, then you'll do well. Even though, yeah, I agree. I mean, if you can play Storm and you want to play Storm, people don't like Storm. Then
To be fair, I'm a huge advocate of if you feel comfortable with a deck, you should play that deck over than a new meta deck.
Yeah,
You're probably going to do
definitely.
better with it. So if he feels comfortable with this deck and has done well with it, then go for it. It's good on him.
Yeah, definitely,
yeah.
definitely.
But
Yeah.
yeah, in the hands of somebody that's never played it before, I'm sure they wouldn't have topped like he did.
Yeah, probably not. We'll see another deck later on, which is kind of like that as well. But yeah, so this deck is still viable, I think, even though there are probably objectively better options. So this next one is a Shenron Gogeta deck, which I found, and yeah, I mean, I think a lot of us thought Shenron Gogeta would be sort of the go-to Shenron deck, and here he's actually only playing the 7-drop Gogeta here, which I mean that card is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Absolutely crazy. And yeah, so he's going for the Yulian Fusion. He has determined Striker Super Saiyan Blue Sun Goku. So that's the negate.
Yeah.
Which is bad, and he acknowledged it was bad because he played it. I think when he played it, it cost him the game. So
yeah, he did say he'd replace it with vanilla.
Yeah. So yeah, don't play that one, guys. And if you do, just don't use the counter. But
no, even then, it's a 10k combo. So.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But the at all costs in there, that's such a strong finisher with Shenron. It just comes out of nowhere, and it's good because it's a 20k Vegeta as well, so it helps with the Gogeta. Playing the Gogeta, even though I think the problem is having actually Goku's at a 20k, which is the problem.
Yeah.
There's quite a lot of good Vegetas. The ape is the Great Ape Vegeta is also a Vegeta as well, so that's a.
He also said he'd replace this as well.
Yes, because I mean this card isn't very useful on its own. Yeah.
The barrier double strike is better.
Yeah. And
Why does he have a Zeno in the side there?
Someone with robot mode.
Yeah. So Nathan's become a robot suddenly. He does have a Zeno in the side deck, and I think he must have been hardcasting it. That was
No,
so he was scared of the Shenron Dogs deck.
Yeah, but he brings out with World Peace.
Oh right, yeah, sure, yeah.
Sorry, did you guys already talk about it? I wasn't listening.
We'll sort it out, Nathan. But yeah.
I'm tired, sorry.
Right, okay, let's remove Nathan right now. Okay, remove it now. Okay, so yeah, the Zeno was there for the dog deck, but he didn't come across that. So, okay, let's try and get Nathan to fix his mic. But yeah, do you have any other comments about this, Anthony?
No, I think it's a very good deck. And
would you have played the 5-drop in there? Gogeta?
I think the deck needs removal. It's only removal right now. It's at all costs.
Yep.
and that's not that great.
No.
I think you could definitely squeeze in the what's it called? The 5-drop. Other than that, maybe like the changes he said were the changes I'd make. Like I think the 8 Vegetas, well, you need a 20k yellow Vegeta. And if you're gonna world piece it back, you might as well play the better one.
Yeah.
And
Definitely.
as for the Goku, I would never play that negate Goku. It's horrible. So I
Okay.
think it's solid all around.
Yeah. Yeah. Nothing else for me to add. Actually, it's a pretty solid deck, and clearly because he did well with it. So, moving on. Next up, this is the Hirudegarn Storm. I think this was. What was this? This might have been the second place one, or this. Yeah, I think this was the second place list. I haven't actually been able to find the first place list, but I assume it's something similar to this.
Would you like me to take the first place?
So yeah, we have he has 3 Bardoks, 2 Gohan, 2 Dynasty Goku, and 4 Gotens. Also the Power Charge Bardock as well, which he thought was going to be good, but I don't think it was very good for him in the end. 4 Successor, which was amazing for him, I think.
Well, Successors was good, right?
Yeah, and also actually I should scroll down because there's 2 Planet Vegeta as well.
It's pretty standard.
It is pretty standard Storm. You've got Dimension Magic in there, which is, I think, is that the only? Yeah, that was the only set 5 card.
It's just, I think Storm going into, like, it was just a very solid pick because it didn't change all that much.
Yeah, I mean, in our current format, well, we don't have set 5. The question when you're building a competitive deck is, does it beat Storm? You know,
Yeah.
can you survive Storm? And I don't. I mean, that was always the first question, right? If you're not playing Storm, obviously. And it just feels like people weren't asking that. They maybe didn't think Storm was that good, or they didn't expect Storm to be so dominant. Because actually Hercule can beat Storm.
It can, but Hercule then loses to random stuff like Shenron.
Yeah.
Like,
So I think the fact that Hercule was checked so hard, nothing was able to check Storm.
Yeah.
And that was probably what happened. The mirror was really good in the finals, especially actually. So that got spiked after I sold mine.
Well, at all costs, Vegeta was in pretty much every single fucking deck.
Yeah.
No one per episode.
Yeah.
So it's not a spike.
But yeah, this is Storm, and you guys, I'm sure, are familiar with it. If you're not, then find someone who plays Storm, play against it, and you'll understand. So the next one we have, this was an interesting one. This is a Hirudegarn, but it's a mono blue kind of. I mean, you've got some red and green stashed in it, but the red is for double strike, and it's the super combos, the green super combos. But yeah, this was a bit strange for me. I felt it looked very solid and defensive. Did you manage to, Anthony? Did you manage to check the video out for this one?
Yes, I did. I felt like his explanations were like on cue cards. Like, but it's, I feel like it was just a weird. It's just a weird list.
It is weird because you've got the vanillas in there. Um, again, you just don't have great Gokus, do you, at 20k?
I
But
do like the what's his name? The Trunks.
yeah, he made the most of the vanillas. So
Yeah,
you play
that's
that Trunks, you get the vanilla out, and suddenly it's a threat.
yeah.
So yeah, it's very defensive. He's basically got 12 super combos in here, and yeah, 12 super. So you're defending. You play your Vegito, and sit on that basically. You've got at all costs. You've got Gogeta, control the board, and there you go. I think I think you need to be a very specific type of player to play this deck.
Yeah, I guess.
You need to really know your matchups, really know this deck inside out. So yeah, I think that's what he said in this video as well. I'll link that in the description. Basically, don't just pick this deck up and expect to win. You need to practice. You need to know exactly what you're doing, and it's a skill deck. I feel like I think the reason why I like it is because it kind of feels like GBs.
Okay, next one.
Yeah, so that is that. And the last one, this is Janemba Mill. This is one of the Janemba Mills that topped in top 32. And Auntie, do you want to go through this while I try and get Nathan back in?
Okay. Well, Janemba Mill is a very solid deck, and I feel like it's a deck that if your opponent doesn't know to play against Janemba Mill, they lose. If they do, it's a 50-50 game. That's all that can really be said.
Yeah. Yeah, okay.
Like, I think it was a good pick for Nationals because there's a lot of decks it just insta beats. Like it's match up against Hercules, not as bad as you'd think it was, but it loses to Storm.
It's another one of those where it's just like, does it lose to Storm? Like you said, you want to play it and then you don't want to play Storm, basically.
Yeah.
And I am struggling to invite him in. Okay, so so those were the decks that we managed to find online. I'm sure there are some others floating about as well. But yeah, as I said, I'll leave those links to those videos in the description below. For some reason, they're not on DBS decks yet. I'm not really sure why.
I think I just don't think they've been uploaded. To be fair.
Yeah, I mean, I think they DBS decks might just get given deck lists and they don't actually scour the internet for them. So yeah, so we're gonna move on now to the potentially nationals, or is it Euros in the UK coming next year. So Nathan, as you may or may not have known, he every time Bandai posts something on the Dragon Ball Super card game Facebook page, he will ask, "What about Europe? What about Europe?" He's quite persistent with that, and they finally responded to him, and he is back now.
Hey, yeah.
Hi.
Is that any better?
yeah, that's fine now, mate. So yeah, we're just moving on to how Bandai have responded to you. Finally.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Finally. After
months and months of just asking them about Europe. So finally they have responded to you. Do you want to just give a run through of what happened?
Yeah, so pretty much it was just another usual day. They put up a post. I asked, what about Euro? But this time they actually replied. They pretty much said that the support's coming soon. It's coming to the UK, which is a good thing. I'm just bringing it up on Facebook myself, actually. So to give me a link to the events that they're running, which are the BCC tournaments that are happening soon. And then I asked them if we were going to get some sort of metallic cards as prize support. And they said that a large scale event will be happening in the UK in 2019. So that's good news.
Yeah. And do we think this is going to be a sort of like a UK regional Nats, or there was some sort of mention it was a European thing, right?
Yeah, what I read into it is there's going to be a large scale event in the UK for 2019 after the European BCC events. Just kind of the wording of it led me to believe that it was going to be a European event that was going to be held in the UK, as opposed to a UK event for the UK and the UK only. Kind of like North America was for Canada as well as the US. So hopefully that'll work out well, and maybe some European players will come over to the UK as well.
Yep, hopefully. I know there's quite a big scene in the Netherlands. Actually, they get very consistent locals, and we met some guys from, was it Portugal? I think it was Portugal, wasn't it? Met some Portuguese guys. Was probably like last month. They might be watching this, so shout out to you guys if you are. And yeah, obviously there's the French scene. I don't know if the French will be involved in this, because they've kind of got their own thing. So they've got their own nationals and stuff. They've got their own cards, which, because we're not allowed to go over there and use our cards.
Surely they wouldn't do that, because then if that was the rule of thumb, then it'd be every French-speaking nation wouldn't be able to play in the event in the UK. So they'd say, oh, Belgium can't come, France can't come, Sweden can't come. That's
it would be a bit silly.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, do you guys think Bandai are going to have nationals in the UK and have regionals in the UK, or do you think they're actually going to run it like a European thing? So you have regionals in each country, and you qualify for Euros.
Yeah, I think that's how they'll work it.
If they do it.
Yeah.
Okay. Sure.
Yeah. I think these BCC events that are coming up, I feel like they're the warm-up to see if they've actually got the player base.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of discussion about how the UK are importing our cards, and that's just telling Bandai that there's not a very big player base in the UK, because they don't have the sales to back up the amount of players they've actually got. So I feel like if we do reach 50 players for every BCC, then it's really going to tell them that there's a big community that wants to play.
Just enter twice, guys. Enter twice.
Well, you say that Nottingham have reached capacity.
Yes. I am speaking to Liam about that, and he might increase the capacity. So if you guys don't know, there's a BCC event in Nottingham. Liam's throwing in extra prize support as well. That's going to happen on the 15th of December, and I think he sold out the 50 tickets that he had planned already. So this will actually be it might not be the largest in the UK. Depends on whether he fancies running a tournament that's bigger than Shenron Cup, because that was 63, I believe.
Yeah, it was 63. He's got a 64-player kit, so he can do it.
He can do it. So I was speaking to him, and he said he wanted to do the biggest one by one player. So this is perfect. Liam, just do the 64. So he told me that he is checking tomorrow for space. So I think there
He
is
said
there are
something about chairs. He said that there's enough tables, but there might not be enough chairs.
right.
So
Okay,
people can just bring their own
just
chairs.
bring your own
Beanbags,
stools,
maybe.
guys. Go get one of those like camping stools. You can just
Bring dual disc and play standing up.
yeah.
You can do it on motorcycles.
So just play on the floor, whatever, guys. Just I'll link that in the
I,
description.
I suggested that. I said that'd be a health and safety risk.
Yeah. So it's not his shop. He needs to follow the rules. So so yeah, guys. I mean I don't think I need to plug this much more, but definitely join in if you can. I think it'll be really good. And
Definitely.
Nathan, are you going to that?
I'm going to the one in Nottingham. The week
Nice.
before, there's one in Sheffield I'm going to as well, and also Ashton, which is just outside of Manchester by about 20 minutes.
Yeah.
I'm going to all three of those.
I'm not going to link everything in the description to this video because there'll just be a million links. Because we've got all the deck lists to do as well. But if you, just a quick plug, if you like my Facebook page, I will promote all of these events on that as well. So, and also if you guys have locals and events that you want to just have a bit of a push, then just drop me a message on Facebook, and I'll happily promote whatever events you guys want. So yeah, just check that out. When I do giveaways in the future, I will be doing it on that as well. So do check that out, and hopefully see you guys in Nottingham. And yeah, I think that's everything for this week. We will look through the theme booster stuff next week, and we will also try to work on the top cut for the LG event, which still hasn't been done yet. Just life's been busy, guys. So
yeah.
Thank you, thank you all for your support. Thank you, Anthony and Nathan, for coming on this week, and I will see you guys next time.